Well, hello everybody in the chat. I am sorry for the late start. I've just been watching the official Dovetail Games announcement for the Liverpool to... I've forgotten already. That's a good start, isn't it? Yeah, the new route that they've just announced, Liverpool to Crewe. That's the one with the Steam update. So I've just been watching the official announcement for that, so that's why we are a little bit late starting. I know there's still a few people probably watching that, so I don't know whether to start the stream here or just wait for a little bit longer for that announcement to finish. Let me know in the chat what you want me to do. Okay, I think I'm just going to post the link in the Discord server and on the socials to the stream, and we'll get started. So give me about 2 or 3 minutes and we will be on our way. Hello everybody, welcome to the much delayed live stream. As I said earlier, just listening to the Dovetail Games announcement of the Crewe to Liverpool route and looking at some of the screenshots which I have just posted in the Discord server. Look absolutely superb. What do you think of the route, guys? The Liverpool to Crewe. What do you think of the screenshots if you've seen them? I think they look absolutely brilliant. But do let me know your opinions in the chat. So, great to have you with me this evening. We're going to be doing a run on the Northern Trans Pennine route. I picked this up in the Festival of Rail Steam sale event for about, I think it was about £6 or some ridiculously cheap. So, we're going to give that one a go. Before we jump in, and as always, guys, all the opinions expressed within this video are solely my own, all of that good stuff, blah-de-blah-de-blah. And if you haven't already, you know I'm going to say it, please do hit that like button, and also consider subscribing to Dadrail. So, I'm going to get started, and then we'll go through the chat and see if we can answer some of your questions, and have a jolly good evening. Right, let's press the right button. There we go. So, I'm getting a good collection of routes there. I've got Great Western Express, which is the new one. I picked that up in the Steam sale as well. It would have been rude not to. Is this going to work? It's working. There we go. We have also got our brand new game, Locomotive Location and Livery, on the go, with 2 brand new pictures, a little bit more challenging than last time. If you haven't seen this game before, then what we've got is a picture behind those 16 windows. At some point during the stream, I'll ask you to pick a number between 1 and 16. We'll keep popping in and out and see if we can't guess the locomotive, location and livery that is behind those windows. But without further ado, the game's loaded up, so let's jump straight back into it. And I still haven't disabled my setting where it goes straight to the tutorial. I really do need to do that. We're going to do a 47 run. I did have a little play with the 47 earlier. Was suitably impressed by it, so let's give it a go. Pig and Bob, you're late, I'm late. We have literally just started. We were listening to the... Well, I was listening to the Dovetail Games announcement, so... where are we? We want about an hour run there. Leeds to Manchester Victoria. Drive a westbound service... Locomotive hauled Trans Pennine service calling at principal stations only. Let's give that one a go. We're also in the Discord, guys. We've got the live pictures page up there. Lovely 47 posted by Joshua there. If you're not in the Discord server already, then as always, there is a link in the description below for you. So do let me know about the audio, guys. If you need the game audio up or you need the mic turned down, let me know and I will do what I can. Right, so we have... Oh, I don't want that menu anymore. Right, I think we're unlocking the right. No, we're unlocking the left. That's a good start. So there we are with our 47, which I think looks good, and I think it sounds pretty good as well. It's one of my favourite locomotives, the 47, I must admit. It's one of my all-time favourites. I'm quite lucky now that I signed the new class 69 locomotives, because obviously they've got a very similar body shape. So they look a little bit like the 47s without the kind of peak cap on the top of them. Right, let's get some lights on, which I believe are over here somewhere. There we go. And I couldn't get the AWS to activate earlier on when I played this. I played this on the East Coastway on the Vintage Rail Tour. So you put the change end switch into the up position, which is exactly the same as a Class 73, but that should have activated the AWS. Now you've got isolation switches here, but they don't seem to be active. So I don't know if someone in the chat knows this locomotive a bit better than I do. If you could sort of point me in the right direction, that would be awesome. Lawrence Adams, if you are late, are you doing the Patreon stream later? Yeah, absolutely, Lawrence. We're going to finish this one off and the Patreon stream will be starting straight after. The Patreon should start more or less on time. That's the good news. So we are calling at Dewsbury, Huddersfield, Staley Bridge and Manchester Victoria. I must admit this is not a region of the country I'm particularly familiar with. I think I've travelled into Manchester Victoria once from Manchester Airport, but that's about it. Anyway, let's get a key in. Into forward. We're unpinning the brake lever. So the brake lever's in the what we call pinned away or locked away position there. So we're going to put that into the release position. Dadrail, there is another AWS isolation lever to flick on to activate it. There should be another lever to the left of that one. Yeah, I think it's like this one here, if I'm not mistaken. But there's just doesn't seem to want to click unless there's anything over here that I'm missing. There doesn't seem to be anything up on the walls here. It's a bit strange. I mean, that is the AWS isolation lever on this particular box. So, but it just doesn't let me click it. But never mind. Never mind. We will continue without it. So, we are reading 0 on the brakes. Let's give her a bit of throttle and see what happens. We've got a green. And if all's well, it should go. I do like the way they've modelled having a second man on board as well. I really like that. That's a really nice touch. So of course, that was common practice back in the day to have a second man. As a driver, you'd start on the railway as a second man and then progress into driving. So F on the theatre box. And the brakes are modelled really nicely in this, in the fact that they take ages to come on and then come off again. And if you press the wrong button, they don't release at all. Okay, let's give that a go on the AWS. It's probably going to come up in a heap now. Ah, that makes more sense. That makes much more sense. Thank you, everybody. So I've been having lessons in German signalling as well, thanks to Alex, who is a German driver who's in the Discord server, was helping me out last night, sort of learning German signalling and stuff. So I had a run in the ICE earlier on and only had 1 penalty brake application. So I was quite pleased with that. That was a bit of a result. So there may be some German content coming up. I'm sort of, as I've gained a little bit of an understanding of the German signalling system, I've come to appreciate it a bit more. So speed limit seems very slow coming out of here. It's speeding all the way out. So this is my first time, other than to do the screenshot, this is the first time I've actually even loaded this route up. And I know this is one of the older routes. I think this is one of the original Train Sim 1 routes that's now part of the preserved collection. Steve, if you think it does, then I will put it up. That is not an issue at all. I'm not monitoring the game volume here. It looks good on the levels, but obviously I can't hear what you're hearing. So if you think it needs to go up, then I'm more than happy to do that. Synesthesia. Can't say your name, sorry. Good evening. Good evening to you too. Rafe the Train Spotter. Richard, TPE salt for new bi-mode locos for the Nova 3 sets. I don't know what number of them. Bi-mode locos? Because do they have the 68s on them at the moment on the Nova 3 sets, would I be right in saying? Yeah, Steve, no worries. I'll put the volume up a tad on the game. Yeah, let me know how that is, Steve. Hopefully that's a bit better. Max, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Right, so I think we can get a little bit of power in now and kind of get going. Dewsbury in 7.5 miles. I'm going to try and do today sort of driving a bit more professionally. Try not to overrun any stations or spad or anything like that. I've noticed I've been paying so much attention to the chat in the previous streams, which is great because I really enjoy chatting with you guys. But I've noticed I've been paying so much attention to the chat. My driving has been pretty poor, to say the least. Right, 2.4 miles. We have got a 50 board coming up. So what we are going to do now is we are going to play our first round of Locomotive, Location and Livery. So I'd like you to put in the chat a number between 1 and 16. Post any number between 1 and 16. Evening, Daniel. I'm good, thank you. Okay, Geffen is first in with number 11. Let's play Location, Livery and Locomotive, or whatever order I said it in before. So we're going to reveal number 11. You have got to try and guess the Locomotive, the Livery and the Location. The catch is, it might not be a locomotive, it might be a unit, but it just sounds better like that. Let's reveal box number 11. Not a great deal to go on there, guys. Not a great deal to go on. I'll leave that on the screen for a few seconds. If someone gets the location from that, then that is serious rail fanning, as the Americans would say. Richard the Train Spotter more speeding, that would be a dismissal. As a simulator driver, I have been sacked several times over. I bet it's a class 222 at Derby. I'm saying absolutely nothing. Not much to go on with that little bit you've revealed there, but we'll jump back into that in a minute. Reading. Joshua reckons it's Reading. South East Rail Productions, good evening. Right, so keeping an army speed. I've got that 50 coming up. We're on an uphill gradient, so I'm going to shut back. Luke Laycock, welcome to Dad Rail, new subscriber. Yeah, so shutting back the power nice and slowly there, just notching it back. What we don't really want to be doing with a locomotive, especially an older one, is whacking it right open and shutting it right back. We want to allow the amps to run off slowly and come up slowly, just so we don't cause flashovers in the motors or anything like that. And just generally looking after the locomotive. These older locomotives, you drive them well, you treat them nice, and they reward you by behaving themselves and getting you home. South East Rail Productions reckon it is Ashford. We'll jump in and do another one in a few minutes' time. See if you can work it out. In the last stream, they were remarkably easy, so I have made them a little bit more challenging, hopefully, in this one. So, guys, based on the... I did ask this earlier, but I didn't see your answers. Based on the screenshots that Dovetail have just shown, if you haven't seen them, I've just posted them in the Discord server, in the general chat. What do you guys think of the new Train Sim World 2 route? Or, Liverpool to Crewe with the steam engines. Personally, I think they look very good, and I think it's a very good choice of route. I've known the route for probably about a month now, so it's been interesting trying to keep it quiet. People have asked. I've had to keep my lips shut, but yeah, it's good to be able to say it out now. Liverpool to Crewe. I think it's an excellent choice of route. It's nice to get some more stuff up in the north. They've been very focused, obviously, with their offices being in Chatham. They've been very focused with stuff in the south, so it's really nice to get some northern stuff as well. He says whilst driving a northern route. Let's have a little bit of horn action. So I think one of the things that would be really nice is to kind of have a route learning mode. So as you go through stations and you go through tunnels, the names of them flash up. That would be really handy. Or maybe you can have like route maps that accompany the routes. So while we're in the tunnel, guys, we'll play another round of location locomotive livery. Number between 1 and 16 in the chat, please. What number would you like me to reveal? Clark Lawless, hello. "25 years in the current job, Steve." Yeah, if you've got any questions, I'm happy to answer them. JBW456 has got in there with 13. Let's play locomotive location livery, revealing box number 13. Oh, there's a lot to go on in that one. There is a lot to go on in that one. That was a good choice. I'll leave that on your screens for a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're still in the tunnel. But we are speeding. Let's get a little bit of braking. Max, you have been told. South East Train Spotter reckons it's a class 455. South East Train Spotter reckons it's Southern. Joshua reckons it's Ashford 313. So, Dewsbury, 2.3 miles out. I'm not quite sure how the brakes are going to perform on this. I should imagine not too well, so we'll get the brakes in nice and early. Steve, I think a lot of the interview questions were pretty kind of bog standard, strengths and weaknesses and things like that, from what I can remember. They sort of ask you for times you've dealt with emergency situations, times you've had to stay calm under pressure. So sort of really very sort of bog standard interview questions. Probably the best thing for you to do, Steve, is drop me a message either on Discord or on my through my social media channels when I can find the right button, which are on the screen now. And I've sort of got an essay that I wrote that I can send over to you, which might give you some more advice. So we've got 50 coming up. We're good for that, but we are going downhill. You can kind of see with like the detail level on the scenery is very low compared to something like West Cornwall. So you can really see that they have upped their game with the newer routes. Daniel reckons it's a 3-1 at Derby. Luke Laycock, Hall Green. 1 mile from Dewsbury. Let's see if we can stop this in a reasonable fashion. So don't forget, if you haven't already, guys, then please do hit that like button. And also consider subscribing to Dad Rail. I'm not going to set any targets because I'm not going to do any dancing tonight. And if you've got no idea what I'm on about... Oh, look at that semaphore signals. So the top signal being our stop signal. And the bottom signal being our distant. That is a little bit strange because if that stop signal was on, how would we have known it was on? We should have had a distant prior to that, so I'm not quite sure how that's working. Presumably we're in absolute block signalling. Yeah, no worries, Steve. Always happy to help. But you kind of caught me on the fly there. I'm normally quite good at sort of answering questions, but I just had a bit of a brain fart. Went a bit blank. But yeah, no, if you get in contact with me on the socials, I'll be more than happy to kind of let you know what I know, which is not very much. So we're coming into Dewsbury. Yes, the brakes are applying really quickly and then taking quite a long time to come off, which for a locomotive haul train is pretty prototypical, to be fair. But like I said, this is the first time I'm driven this properly, so my braking's not quite on point. We'll try again at the next station. Maxwell's spamming 10. Southampton Train Spotter, good evening. Welcome to the stream. And of course, what you don't want to be doing as well is fanning the brake on and off, because you can run out of air. Yeah, we're a bit short. So what we would normally do is we'd actually release the train brake and we'd hold the train on the locomotive brake, providing we're not on a massively steep gradient. Then unlock left. So I am going to ask you now, guys, to post a number between 1 and 16 and we will have another round. First one that appears in my chat gets that box revealed. Kitty Plays Games. I have applied for a job at Greater Anglia for a trainee mainline driver. I'm hoping to get it. I do HGV driving currently, so hopefully that will work in my favour. Yeah, I reckon it will Kit Plays Games, because you'll be used to kind of the shift work and the lone working and the monotonous sort of driving and stuff. So yeah, I think that really will work in your favour. JBW456 has given us number 10. So, let's get the train moving and we will play. So I don't want to take power until my brakes have almost released. I don't want to be pulling against the brakes. So we've got £20 in the cylinders. Just release what's left. As that sort of approaches off, we get a bit of power in. What you've got to remember as well on locomotive haul trains is that the power, the brakes will release at the front of the train before they release at the rear. So although you're showing released here, you will still have brakes on at the back until the brake pipe fully charges. Okay, we are playing, and we are playing with number 10. Let's reveal box number 10. I'm sure there used to be a TV show where they done this. I'm sure I've nicked the idea from somewhere without realising it. Please stand behind the yellow line and mind the gap between the platform and the train. Any ideas, guys? What are we thinking? Yeah, Kit Plays Games and Steve Killing Back Music. Have we got some competition going on there? Are you competing for the same job? What do we reckon, guys? What do we think that is? That was pointless. She is flying down the hill. So we've got a 55 coming up. We're off to Huddersfield in 6.5 miles. Yeah, no, very good luck to both of you for sure. Like I say, if you want any advice, if you contact me on my social media channels, I'll put those on the screen again. Then I'm more than happy to sort of pass on what I know and answer any questions. I'm not sure how much help I can be, but I'm certainly more than happy to give it a go. And if you're not already, guys, if you head over to the Discord server, there's a link in the description below. We have a staff diary section where we have myself and a couple of other train drivers and various other railway staff posting things about their day-to-day life. So if you head over to there, you've got myself, Sam Robinson, Callum, who are all train drivers, Alex, who's a German train driver, and we'll all be more than happy to answer your questions. Robert Lilly, good evening. JBW thinks it's a 313 at Ashford. You could be right, but you'll have to wait and see. Right, there's a 45 coming up. Which we almost got down for. As long as no one spilt their tea, that is absolutely fine. Yeah, no worries, Steve. You're more than welcome. So we've got a 50 coming up in 2.1 miles. We're currently 80. Yeah, awesome, Steve. If you need any help getting verified or anything on the server, then just give us a shout in the chat and I'll get one of the mods to give you a hand. So as we are talking Discord, let's pop into the Discord server and see what's been posted. Luke's posting 66793 at Southeast on the new GBRF aggregates flow to New Haven Marina. Something I hope to be on very, very soon. Lawrence is going for a 377 at Brighton. Yeah, definitely, Terry. Rough riding. I'm guessing this is before the days of black boxes and downloads, so we can get away with it. Yeah, Kitty, shift work isn't too bad once you get used to it. I usually live off energy drinks. And you've also just joined the Discord. Fantastic. So shift work isn't too bad. I'll ask my wife, who is behind me. Mum Rail, what is shift work like?
It's not great. I don't think.
I don't know if they can hear you. She said it's not great.
It's not great, especially when you have children and a family life. It's not perfect, is it? You can't have the, you know.
But I think also if you're doing like a 9 till 5 as well, because I quite enjoy shift work in the fact that, like, one week I'm taking the kids to school, the next week I'm picking them up. Some days I'm at home whilst the kids are at school, so you get a bit of time, you know, at home with the wife or to go out and do whatever you need to do. So I think shift work offers a little bit more flexibility. When I was doing my training, sort of doing 9 till 5, it's like I just didn't enjoy it at all, really. So 50 coming up, we've got a position 4 junction indicator. So we are taking the diverging route there. (156) Andrew. Hello, Richard and chat. Hello, Andrew. Rafe the train spotter. Richard, I remember we did a live with Discord guests and you were driving on the Isle of Wight line. Yeah, that's right, Rafe. We did do that. I wasn't too happy with the way that went. There were a few problems with the audio and stuff, so I'll maybe explore that format again, but I kind of need to get the technical side of that sorted out first. That's a long old shift, Lawrence. 7 till 7, 12 hours. Yeah, Steve, so every company's a bit different. We are on a 34.5-hour base week. But we work a winter roster and a summer roster because of the nature of our work, because I'm a freight train driver. I don't know if you're aware of that. But so our summer roster is a 3.5-day average working week, and our winter roster is a 4.5-day average working week. But we work on an annual contract, so although you're on like 34.5-hour week average, because it's on an annual contract, you've got to do, I think ours is 1,800 hours a year. So you can actually be rostered up to 60 hours a week. You can and sometimes are rostered up to 60 hours a week. And there's a lot of overtime as well. So it's quite often that I'll end up doing 72-hour weeks, which is our maximum. Just doing my bit to help cover the work. Yeah, but typically, if you're with a passenger company, the rosters tend to be a lot more friendly. Lawrence is doing the Boston Sprinter. I've not had a go on the Boston Sprinter yet. Maybe we can do that in the Patreon stream afterwards. So let's get some power in. We're going uphill. We're good for 70. 2.5 miles. We've got a 40 coming up just before the station, which is Huddersfield. Okay, guys, give me a number between 1 and 16, and we'll have another round of the game. It may be like I go silent after that, but the chat is literally about 30 seconds behind the stream, so Steve, you must be minted. I have a wife and 4 children, Steve. I am far from it, I can assure you. Lawrence Adams is the first one in there with a number 7. Let's play. 1.9 miles from the station. Must remember that. Location, livery, Locomotive. And we are with Lawrence Adams and a number 7. Are you going to get it after this one? Oh, it's more platform. It's more platform. What are you reckoning, guys? Has that helped in the slightest? Has that helped in the slightest? It's quite a new looking platform. Is that a clue, maybe? Let's jump back in the game. Yeah, to be fair, Steve, like I said, you can be rostered up to 60 a week, but the way the contract works with kind of annualised hours, you've got to do 1,800 hours a year. And if you're doing 60 hours a week, you're going to reach, though, because it is based on a 34.5 hour average. So if you're doing 60 hours every week, not overtime, just on your basic roster, then you're going to do your contract hours within sort of 7 or 8 months. So you then have the option for the rest of the year. You can say thank you, goodbye, see you next year, or you can keep working, and then sort of everything you work is overtime. To be fair, our contract year ends in a couple of weeks, and I've got a couple of months, sorry, and I've got a couple of 100 hours left to do. So I'll probably be under my hours this year. So yeah, some weeks you'll be working loads, other weeks you might not work very much at all. But that's freight. Passenger tends to be a lot more consistent than that. Right, double yellow. 40 mile an hour coming up. We're good for that. We are stopping at Huddersfield. JBW still thinking it is a 313 at Ashford. I can certainly see where you're coming from there. Single yellow, red at the end of the platform. That's kind of interesting. Oh, that's the stopping point's marked on the wrong road there. It's kind of interesting. Trying desperately not to spad here. Desperately not to overbrake. So I'm releasing that nice and early. Try and give it a little bit of time to come back. And I've definitely not released it in time. See, one of the things I found driving freight trains is you need to be aware, like, your brakes take longer to apply, your brakes take longer to release. So little things like that, like, you know, making sure you release the brakes with enough time for them to fully recharge so you don't come to a stand. Little things like that you get used to as you're driving. But when you're driving passenger units, you don't need to worry about that because the brakes are electronically controlled. As soon as you apply the brakes, it's instantaneous. As soon as you release them, it's instantaneous. But with locomotive hauled stuff, you kind of need to think a little bit more about what you're doing. Especially if you've got a very long train. If you've got some of the container trains are 120 slew, 21 foot per slew, incidentally. So they're long old trains. And time you release the brakes at the front, it can be a good couple of minutes before they fully released at the rear. So yeah, it's just something you need to bear in mind when you're driving locomotive hauled stock. So yeah, I should be in that, and I should have released the train brake. Yes, obviously the brake gauge is not going to come down because we've got the direct brake in. We've got a red, but it's telling me to lock doors. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't lock doors until the signals come off, but the game won't pull that signal off until we've locked the doors. Something to do with the way it does. There we go. Stop at location, Staley Bridge, 912. So again, I'm going to release the brakes. I'm going to allow them to come pretty much all the way off, certainly below 20 bar. Then we're going to do 1 notch of power. We can see the amps coming up, and then another notch of power, just till it starts moving. This is something you would feel if you were driving. You'd feel the resistance as the brakes are coming off on the coaches, so you'd sort of pull away a little bit, and then you might stop where the brakes are still on at the back, because the couplings on the wagons will actually stretch out. Between the coaches will stretch out as you pull away. So once we're fully released, we can go. So we're 15 miles an hour at the moment going into the tunnel. Yeah, I'm the same, Steve. On the routes that I sign in real life, I can drive them Hudless quite happily. A route like this, obviously, that I've never even travelled over as a passenger, it becomes a bit more difficult. But if you can learn the routes off by heart and drive it Hudless, it's a much nicer experience, most definitely. And as you say, yeah, there's 75% off the base game at the moment, so you haven't got Train Sim World, head over to Steam and get it now. It is an absolute bargain at the moment. Okay, guys, so let's have another round. Hopefully this will be the last one. Give me a number between 1 and 16 in the chat. News to me, Adam. New Bakerloo line train they are releasing. Are you talking about in real life there, rather than on Train Sim? I think the Bakerloo stock is the oldest on the network now, so yeah, that really wouldn't surprise me. Nationwide is first in with number 1. Let's play the game. I think you might get it from this one. Number 1. What are we thinking, guys? What are we thinking? Are we still thinking 313 at Ashford? We'll have another go in just a minute. I thought this one was going to be quite an easy one, actually, but I've done well today. Kitty, yeah, I bought a book called Railway Track Diagrams. Have you seen it? I've seen several different railway track diagram books. Southern Livery. Guys, I've got to tell you this. Southern Train Spotter 466. Southern Train Spotter 466. I can declare. You are the winner, my friend. 455, Southern Livery, London Bridge. Not much to go on there. I made it far too easy last time, so I'm determined to make it a bit harder. You are the winner, my friend. Congratulations. What do you win? Absolutely nothing. Pride. If you've got any pictures you want to send me in to use in future games, send them to me on the Discord or on my socials. I'm always on the lookout for new material. So I'm just trying to catch up with the chat here. Right, where are we doing with the driving? This has not been a bad run so far. Touch wood. Staley Bridge in 15 miles. We are currently good for 70. No upcoming speed restrictions. Dadra, how is the measurement unit of 21 feet that you were talking about spelled? Joshua, it's SLU. It's actually SLU, which refers to standard length unit. So it's not a real word. We call it SLU, but it is SLU, which stands for standard length unit. And one SLU is 21 feet. Dadro, have you got Instagram? I've got a good chuckle on there. Yeah, nationwide, I have got Instagram. I haven't really promoted it very much at the moment, but I am at Dadrail Official on Instagram. I think I've got one picture on there. I have been a little bit active on TikTok as well lately. If you've not followed me on TikTok, at Dadrail Official. Got some lovely 37s and snowplow video on there. Kit plays games. What's a chain in measurement terms on the railways? To be fair, Kit, I'm not entirely sure. You have the measurements on the railway are done in chains and miles, and there's so many chains per miles. But I'm not very good with imperial measurements. As a driver, it almost becomes irrelevant to us. It's not something we learn. But I'm sure someone in the chat will know how many chains there are to a mile. So while we're on Plain Line, let's jump over to the pictures page and see what has been posted. Ah, look at that. Rail Operations Group 37 with either a 319 behind it or a 769. Not entirely sure what we got going on there. If you want to post your pictures, we're in the live stream pictures section. Yeah, I know, Richard, you don't like TikTok. Joshua, 80 chain to a mile. Thank you very much. We have a wealth of knowledge in the chat today. So, right after this stream, guys, we have got a Patreon supporters only live stream. If you are one of my Patreons, and I can see a few of you in the chat, then you would have been sent the link out for that already. We'll be starting, it should be more or less on time, maybe 5 minutes late. That is on time as far as the railway is concerned. As my Patreons, one of the things we do, it should be monthly, but I've not been too good the last month. I had a lot going on. Is we have an exclusive Patreon only live stream, which is a really sort of informal event. I'll actually be cracking open a beer. Well, it's Foster's, it's not really beer. But yeah, it's really informal, and we kind of just have a drive and a chat. It's really nice. But if you do want to be part of that, then you can support me on Patreon. There are the details there, patreon.com/Davrail. And that'll give you everything you need to know, and you'll get access to that Patreon-only exclusive live stream. It's very exclusive. As well as a number of other benefits as well to becoming a Patreon. But it's all over there. I won't go on about it. Yeah, Kit, the good news there is, if you sign up on Patreon, they don't actually... everyone's going to do this now. They don't actually charge you until the 1st of the month. So you can sign up today and it doesn't actually cost you anything till the 1st of the month. And the basic Patreon package that I've got is £2 a month for the shunter level. So I kind of wanted to keep it accessible to everybody. So, yeah. Staley Bridge, 11 miles. We've got a 55 coming up. So I'm just going to shut the power back again, not running it right back, just nice and slowly. Just let that speed drop back to 55. 46 of you lovely people in at the moment. If you haven't already, please do hit that like button. And also consider subscribing to Davrail. Chains and miles, barbarian units. So I think we're really weird in the UK, like the way we use metric for some things and imperial for others. It's really, really off-putting. Yeah, it's 55 just coming up. We're doing well for that. Ewan Hay, please subscribe to Davrail's Patreon so you can afford a beer that isn't Foster's. Oh dear, oh dear. I don't think Foster's is really classed as beer, is it? It's kind of like seawater. It's almost like what Weatherspoons sell. Or, I better not say that, they've got a good legal team. Right, there's a 40 coming up. Let's get some braking for that. See, we're coming down 46. I'm actually going to release that brake there. And see if I've timed that right. We are going uphill. Hopefully that's going to be spot on. We haven't over-braked. Look at that. Beautiful. Getting good at this. I'm really enjoying driving this locomotive, actually. It feels really nice to drive. Right, we are going to jump over to... We'll just get around the corner here because the scenery looks lovely. And then we are going to jump over to Discord because Richard the Train Spotter and more, who has been streaming on Twitch as well. He's been doing train sim videos, truck videos and all sorts of other things. If you want to put a link in the chat to your channel, bud, you're more than welcome to do that. Let's put a picture in there. So we are up to 65. Let's have a look and see what pictures we've got. Oh, 3-2-3s. We do love a good 3-2-3. I was at Manningtree with Richard the other week for his birthday. Purely to get some 3-2-3s, because obviously they're not going to be around for too much longer. Great stuff. Transport Carp Fishing Gamer. Train Spotting Carp Fishing Gamer. Love the name. On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard is it to get employed as a train driver? I would say that there are definitely opportunities to do it. I think a lot of people fail the initial psychometric assessment when they apply to become a train driver. But by far the best route to success, and I say it to everyone, is get on the railway, go get a job as a platform staff, as a shunter, as a conductor for the companies that still have them. Get your foot in the door. Then you'll have the opportunity to speak to people. You'll have the opportunity to speak to other drivers. You'll build up a rapport with management. And that is the best route and the most successful route to becoming a driver. John Gordon, thank you very much for your pledge. That is very much appreciated. And I shall send you a personal message and a link to the stream, the Patreon stream, once we are finished here. Yes, so my advice would definitely be get yourself through the door onto a company. I mean, you can apply straight off the streets into train driving roles, but by far the most successful route is to get yourself onto a railway company. Yeah, Kit, that was awesome. Thank you very much. This is a long old tunnel. So as we're in the tunnel, let's have another round, or round 2. There's 2 games programmed into the stream tonight for Locomotive Location Livery. Hopefully this one's going to be a bit easier. Let's have a number between 1 and 16. And if I can switch the screens, I can cover up the fact that I'm speeding. Nationwide is in there again with number 7. I'm going to get down for this 45. Because I will be speeding. Right, so I'm going to release that there. I've probably left the release a bit too late. Oh no, we're coming down nicely. Right, we are with Nationwide on number 7. Let's play Location, Locomotive and Livery. Revealing number 7. That's the same game, you know. We may have to press the button. There we go. And that's not the picture I chose. Something's gone horribly wrong. I think that's the one from last week's stream. Never mind, we'll go with it. We'll go with it. If you saw last week's stream, you'll know what it is. For some reason, the picture hasn't updated, which is pretty annoying. Right, brakes are off. Let's get her going again. Class 800. Yeah, that's really annoying that hasn't updated. I had a good one lined up for that. I had a bit of heritage stuff lined up for that one. Dad rail fail. It's because the driving's going well, the stream hasn't crashed, so something just had to go wrong somewhere. Yeah. Oh look, Joshua's got it in one. GWR 800 at Dawlish. Anyone would think he's seen it before. Yeah, that is the picture from last week's stream. Why the picture file hasn't updated, I don't know. I did check it and I'm sure it was working earlier, but yeah. You don't win anything, though. We're playing for lols. Figsbowl, dance for us again. If you want to see the dance, it's on TikTok. Amongst other places. Right, Staley Bridge, 4.9 miles. So I don't know if you heard in the news this week that our illustrious Transport Secretary, Grant Shapps, thinks there are too many announcements on trains and wants train guards to shut up, basically, and stop making so many unnecessary and pointless announcements. And I was listening to Radio 2 because I'm an old fogey on the Jeremy Vine show, and apparently "See It, Say It, Sorted" has been voted the most annoying phrase in a century. I mean, it sounds a little bit harsh to me. I mean, it is annoying and pretty pointless, but I say pointless. See it, say it, sorted. It's annoying. It's catchy. I suppose it serves a purpose because everyone's heard it and everyone knows it. So I guess it works. But what do you guys think? Do you think there are too many train announcements? I kind of see the advantage. You know, people have got disabilities and stuff. They need those announcements for accessibility purposes, but sort of we used to have a conductor when I was based at Hastings. I won't give you his name, but you'd sort of be pulling into London Bridge and he'd be starting his announcement at New Cross Gate, and the announcement would go on for about 5 minutes, listing destinations you could get to by changing at this station. He was kind of just flexing his railway knowledge a little bit, which was, you know, it's good the first time you've heard it, but as the driver you've just heard it so many times. Yeah, Daniel, definitely not trying to distract from other things going on. Yeah. I know, Boris Johnson's just had a party. Let's talk about train announcements. Sorry, did I say that out loud? Boris Johnson did not go to a party. Let's try not to get political in the streams. Not enough announcements. Yeah, S-Max, I did hear that Meatloaf died yesterday. That was really tragic. Richard the Train Spotter and more. Thank you, bud. Kit, you've got an operations manager role in the Discord server, which is one of the Patreon benefits. That has all been set up for you. So I've released my brakes. And we're going downhill as well. In the words of Top Gear, I like that. So I should imagine this route today would be operated by Nova sets, 68s, maybe 158s along here these days. Western 10156 Alex. I'm really sorry, I cannot read that message without going, "Hello all!" Sorry, just had to do it. Oh yeah, nationwide with the southern drivers on the Tatton Corner branch talking about Ferrero Rocher. We apologise, the ambassador has run out of Ferrero Rocher. So, yeah, awesome driver. Yeah, Terry, I quite agree, but I think the kind of announcements during disruption are not the main cause for concern. I think a lot of the time it's the obviously you need your safety announcements, but I think a lot of companies like South Eastern, where I used to work, it was kind of, please keep all your personal belongings with you. There are toilets available in this part of the train. There's first class available in this part of the train. If you've got this type of ticket, you can't travel here. If you've got that type of ticket, you can't travel here. And it just kind of got a little bit too much sometimes, and especially if they're doing it like after every principal station. And on a route that we used to drive, that was like there's a principal station every 10 minutes, so literally the tannoy's going off constantly. Dadrao, it's pronounced smacks. Got ya. I tell you why I say S-Max, because I drive a Ford S-Max. That's how loaded I am. Whoever said that earlier, minted. I have a 2010 Ford S-Max. So that's why I've said Smax, because we call the car Smaxy. I know, sad. Smacks. I'll remember that. Right, 1.1 mile to Staley Bridge. There's a 15 coming up in a minute. Just before the station by the looks of it. Let's get some braking. Going to really try hard not to over brake. Oh yeah, when they go through the tunnel. Ooh. Brilliant. Right, so I'll just take that brake back to initial because it looks like we're coming in losing speed a bit too quickly. I don't know actually. Yeah, I'm going to give that a little bit more, I think, on the brake. Obviously, the more brake you've got in, the longer it's going to take to release. So I'm releasing that now, even though we're on a downhill gradient. So although I fully released that, you know, the speed's still coming down and we're going downhill. That's just what I was saying about. It takes a little while for the brake pipe to charge up. One yellow, red ahead. Got a feeler box on that one as well. Why am I stopping? Too much brake. Wheel slip light as well now. And now I've given it too much power. So that's what you get for looking at the chat, which is why we don't use phones or electronic devices when we're driving for real. There we go, right. We'll bring her in nicely. The next station is Staley Bridge. Please remember to take all your personal belongings with you when alighting from this service and keep them with you at all times whilst on or about the station. Please have your tickets ready for inspection at the automatic ticket barriers and thank you for travelling with British Railways. There's so many things wrong with that announcement. Right, really trying hard not to over brake now. Really trying hard not to spad as well. See, I'm releasing. Was that a wise thing to do? Oh, that was good. I'll take that. That was really good. Right, full direct brake, unlock doors on the left. I'll take that. That was good. Yeah, no worries. Kit Plays Games. Thank you very much for your pledge. That's awesome. The Patreon stream, if you can't make it fully anyway, it will stay up as a watchable video, so you can go back and watch it at your leisure. But I'll contact you directly anyway once we've finished here and send you a personalised thank you message. Lock doors. We've got a green, we've got an M, 7.3 miles to Manchester Victoria, which is where this stream will terminate. So, release my train brake, my direct brake, sorry. Let's give it a couple of notches of power there. That's fully released. Got a green. We can bring the amps up nice and slowly. We are good for 75. Oh, and we are doing the picture thing tonight. Do you mean the location livery locomotive game, or do you mean the Discord pictures? Stu the Desiro Man, good evening. Welcome to the stream, Stu. We are on the Northern Trans Pennine route, just departing Staley Bridge, bound for Manchester, Victoria. Yeah, it's been quite a good one tonight, Stu. The quality of driving has been much better. You can always go back and watch from the start. Yeah, Nationwide, you were here earlier. Yeah, Owen, we done that earlier on. We the first round went quite well. I think I baffled everyone with that one. But it was I can show you what it was actually. The first round was that, and the one I'd loaded in for the second round for some reason didn't load in, so we were left with what we had last time. So only one round today. But I think that's quite a good thing. I think I'll keep that game up for a few weeks and see how we get on with it. But yeah, if anyone's got any pictures they want to put forward for that, then do send them to me on the socials, or ping them over to me on Discord. That'd be awesome. Right, let's get going. 6.9 miles to Manchester, Victoria. There's a 50 coming up. And we are going downhill. So I'm going to get her up to about 40, 45 and then just shut the power off and let it roll. Yeah, Smacks. It's funny you should ask me that question. Because most definitely, I actually went to Leeds and done a lesson and got all the books and my logbook and started reading up on it and was getting all prepped for it, but the timing was just sort of wrong financially because it's quite an expensive thing to pursue. It's not so bad once you've got your PPL. I mean, you can hire the higher of the plane, you can do cost sharing with people, so it doesn't work out too bad. But just doing you got to do 45 hours training. Why are my brakes still on? What have I pressed? I've knocked something and put my brakes on. There we go. That's better. I thought I was slowing down for some reason. So, yeah, no, it's definitely something I definitely want to pursue. Ah, no, Stu the Desiro Man. Yeah, no, you've just reminded me of something. So after this stream, guys, we've got, like I said, we've got the Patreon-only supporters stream. I'll put a link to my Patreon on there if you want to have a nosy at what that's all about. Distance signal is off. But also on the Festival of Rail event that Dovetail Games are holding, 2200 on there is my slot for the Brighton Mainline video that I made. So if you're not joining me in the Patreon stream and you want to carry on watching me, then clearly you need your head checked in the nicest possible way. But if you head over to the Festival of Rail stream on Dovetail, I haven't got a link for it. I'm not quite sure where that is. But if you head over to there, then I'm on the Brighton Mainline starting at 10 o'clock, which should be, I reckon that might be just about as we get into Manchester, Victoria at the end of this stream. Robert Lilly finally getting Novas into Cleethorpes. Semaphore is off. Steve Killingback wants to send me a message on Instagram. That's just come up on my, it's just vibrated on my wrist. Stu the Desiro Man. Was the Mrs. coughing in the background? Blimey, she needs some Lemsip.
Sorry.
I don't know if you can hear her back there, but she's apologising. So I'm not... What am I doing with the brake at the moment? Why is it not coming off? So 52 of you lovely people in here this evening, you are very welcome here. If you haven't already, please do hit that like button, that would be awesome. Just helps the YouTube gods to recommend my videos a little bit more. And if you haven't already, then please also hit that subscribe button. Aiming for the 10,000 subscriber mark at the moment. That would be absolutely brilliant to get to that. So why are my brakes coming on like... I'm not asking for that much brake pressure. I'm sure I'm knocking the wrong key or something here. So that's fully released. If I just press that once... Why is it jumping so high straight away? Oh, I don't know what I've done wrong. Yeah, no worries, Steve. I'll check that out as soon as I get an opportunity. Be the end of this, probably be at the end of the Patreon stream, but I'll sort that out this evening. Yeah, DC Train Spotting, actually really glad on the choices Dovetail Game have made on the new Steam route. Are you getting it? Yeah, I certainly will be. I'm on the beta testing team for Dovetail Games, and I'm also on the one of the ambassadors for Dovetail Games, so I'm lucky enough that I do get a bit of sort of pre-information of what's going on. And I've been lucky enough as well with several of the routes to have been given early access keys for them. So... unfortunately, with the beta stuff, I'm obviously not allowed to share that, so I can't stream any of that. But when we get given early access keys for, like the Tehran to Rampa route, was given early access for that. I think it normally releases about lunchtime, and we're kind of allowed to show it from 9 o'clock in the morning. But we get it a couple of days before, so we can kind of make content on it, which is really, really good of them. Big Ticket, hi there, Trans Pennine Express Glasgow driver here. Hello, welcome to the stream. Always good to have a fellow driver in here to help me answer some of the questions. I've not seen you in here before, my friend. I'm a freight train driver based down in the southeast. Used to be a passenger train driver, but I jumped ship about 2.5, 3 years ago now. Right, so there's a 45 coming up. I suppose we'd be getting some braking. Again, try not to over-brake on that, making sure I release that nice and early. I have over-braked. Over-braked. Yeah, Richard's just posted a link to the Festival of Rail stream. And like I said, I'm booked in for 2200. It's a pre-record that I'd done a few weeks ago on the Brighton main line. I've done really well with my planning today. Planning this stream for 8:30, just as Dovetail were making one of the most anticipated announcements of the year, and then arranging my Patreon stream for when I'm already live on another thing. So I've done really, really well with the timing today. But never mind. It's kind of fitting the streams in around my sort of work schedule and stuff. Our Big Ticket X Freightliner. The green team. Right, there is a 20 coming up. I definitely want to be getting some braking. I'm going to release that about now. Being careful not to over-brake. That's not too bad. Yeah, Stu, I trust your opinions from an external perspective. On saying that, of course, all the opinions expressed within this video are solely my own. That's my get out of jail free card, that little overlay. I can't at the moment, bud. We are just coming into Manchester Victoria, and I'll be wrapping this stream up, and I shall have a look just then. Right, it's 15 and 0.9 miles. We'll give it a little... We're quite steep downhill, actually. We'll just let it run. The Sunflyer right now, Sajat, tells me that the last AWS indication I received was a cautionary indication. So as you can see, the signal ahead is green. Once we go over the AWS magnet, we'll get a bell sound in the cab, and the AWS will go to black, which tells me the last indication that we received was a clear indication. We're just coming up to the AWS magnet about now. It should be 200 yards from the signal. If AWS is fitted. Doesn't look like it is. Obviously, this is, I think all signals now, or the majority of signals now, are AWS fitted. So it's a little bit unusual not to find one's not fitted these days. Some reversible lines and going into big terminal stations are not fitted. Let's get some brake in. That's a lot of brake. Freaky Mon, hello, SE driver here. Hello, ex-SE driver here. Did you get any options for tickets on this time it's personal GB off tour? Yeah, they did ask for volunteers. But unfortunately I was already working on that day because all the drivers, the on-train crew and everything on that are all volunteering. They're not paid by the company to do that. So it's quite a privilege to do it. And if I wasn't working, I would have... well, I did offer my services, but unfortunately I couldn't because I was working. Little bit of overspeed there, but nothing too drastic. Little bit of over braking going on there as well. Big ticket. I've watched a few of your videos in the past, mate. I'm not much of a spotter, but I'm showing my little lad, is that Kelso, some train driver stuff to teach him some of the basics. Reminds me of my days in the sim. I don't know what your sims were like up there, but the graphics on this sim are far better than what we trained on. Big ticket X SE as well, Orpington. Anyone know Glenn Cooper? Yes, I do actually. I certainly know the name. Yeah, I was based down at Hastings, so it was coastal depots, but we got a few ex Orpington and Grey Park drivers down there. I won't go shouting names out in the stream; they might get a bit upset with me. Manchester Victoria. I thought it'd be more built up than this. Was it actually like this, or is it just lazy modelling? Massive over braking as well there. Come on. Really bad sighting on that signal as well on the left. Right, we're not going to spad for the fans at the last minute. There we go. Right, let's put the straight air brakes straight on. Unlock doors on the right. And jump outside. There we go. What a beautiful machine she is. Lovely. So 52 of you lovely people in. If you haven't already, hit that like button and also consider subscribing. That would be awesome. So that is it for tonight's stream, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just check the score. Objective complete. How have we done? Oh, it's not looking too bad. We got a silver medal. I can't argue with that. We have got a silver medal. Not too bad at all. So I do hope you've enjoyed the stream today, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for the late start listening to Dovetail Games announcement. If you want to see more of me, I am over on the Dovetail Games Festival of Rail event. I should be streaming over there in about 2 minutes. It's a pre-record, so but I will be over there. Or what we're also going to be doing is starting the Patreon-only supporters live stream in a couple of minutes' time. If you want to find out more about that, then you can visit my Patreon page, patreon.com/dadrail. But as far as everything goes, it's been a good stream. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. No spads today, no derailments, no station overruns. That's a good day for me. So thank you very, very much for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. It is appreciated as always. Hope to see you in the next one. Don't forget to check the Discord and my socials. Remember, create, share, and inspire.